Alison Sweeney fights back.
I don't want them to win.
Her battle against online diet pill scammers trying to rip you off.
When was the first time you realized that they were using your name illegally?
This page saying terrible things, it just made me so angry to think that fans would think that it was true.
Red flags you need to look out for. Then splurge or save. The truth about beauty trends. See which ones are worth your money. Coming up next.
We'll save lives today.
You guys ready to get healthy?
Today, I'm addressing a problem that just won't go away. It's been a personal crusade of mine to protect you from internet scammers trying to dupe you into buying faulty weight loss pills and products. Now, these scammers are targeting many other trustworthy celebrity figures in an attempt to fool you. Their most recent victim, former Biggest Loser host and Days of Our Lives actress, Alison Sweeney. Alison is here today, revealing her battle against these diet pill scammers, using her name and image to rip you off. Then, the red flags you need to look out for so you don't get scammed. And while we're on the topic, we're going to take you inside the beauty business and investigate the products that really are worth your money. But first, actress Alison Sweeney is mad. And today, the truth comes out as she fights back against weight loss scammers who are stealing her identity.
Jennifer Love Hewitt's celebrity status used to sell a weight loss scam. Jessica Simpson's name and likeness stolen to promote costume jewelry. Ellen DeGeneres' face plastered on social media sites to peddle unproven anti-aging products. Katie Couric's image connected to misleading skincare regimens. And my identity used countless times to endorse weight loss supplements I have absolutely no connection to. The list of celebrities whose names and images have been illegally used by internet scammers to sell bogus products is expanding rapidly. The latest celebrity being targeted, Biggest Loser and Days of Our Lives star Alison Sweeney. Capitalizing on her commitment to healthy living, a weight loss supplement company used Alison's name and face to falsely imply she endorsed their product. But Alison is fighting back, and today she opens up about the battle to reclaim her name and how you can avoid being scammed in the future.
Alison Sweeney is joining us. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
One of the coolest, most trustworthy friends I have, just all over this stuff, and you're angry, and I want to go back and get everyone up to date. So, when was the first time you realized that they were using your name illegally?
So luckily I have lots of loyal fans that have been supporting me on social media since, back when I was on Days of Our Lives and when I guess Twitter was first developed. And they know me really well. So people started tweeting me, hey, are you supporting this? Or did you say something about The Biggest Loser? Or, I started to get it and I didn't know what they were talking about. So I didn't really think too much of it. Like, no, I didn't. Or what are you talking about? And then finally a fan sent me the link to this, it almost makes me like hot, literally under the collar talking about it. They sent me a link to this page that showed this quote that I never said, saying terrible things about, that I had said, claiming I had said about The Biggest Loser and the contestants and whatever. Anyway, it looked legitimate. It had a whole thing around it that looked like the logo of Us Weekly, and I think it's a real journalist who writes for Us Weekly, and their name, and it looked like a real tweet that they had pulled from my page, which of course I had never tweeted, and I was so infuriated. I mean, it just made me so angry to think that fans would think that it was true, and of course they would think it's true. It looks true, it looks real. And anyway, so that's how I found it.
So let me, if I can, I'm going to show everyone an example of one of these fake tweets that scammers posted. They were claiming to be you. I'm going to read this, and I can see why it's so infuriating. Again, this is with your picture and everything. To all my friends and to all my fans, I deeply and sincerely apologize. You're apologizing for misleading you. I cannot let this scam continue. The weight loss results of contestants for the past 5 years has been all due to hashtag Garcinia Cambogia.
Biggest Loser scam.
Was the other hashtag. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. They make it seem so sincere and calling it a scam, which of course is the irony, that it really is a scam. I mean,
It's just the wrong scam.
Wrong, right, exactly.
It's a classic magician trick. They're
Right.
misdirecting you.
Yes.
So in an attempt to get to as many of your fans as possible,
Right.
you actually created a video, which is...
Well, I started off like tweeting people back. You know, anyone who would tweet me about it, I'd say, you know, no, it's not me. No, it's not true. Yes, I have a lawyer involved. And I was sort of doing one at a time. And then I realized I was starting to get really concerned about the people who wouldn't ask me. What about the people who just see it because, you know, their Facebook is populated by the fact that they're a fan of mine, so that's where it was coming up. On anyone who follows Biggest Loser, anyone who follows Alison Sweeney, like, that it was really there, you know, like, people who are my friends also saw it all the time. And they're like, nope, still hasn't gone away. I still see it every day. So that's when I decided to make the video.
So take a look real quick.
I am appalled by this bogus internet scam that is out there lying to you, my friends and my fans. And I just want you to know that I would never endorse or support a product that doesn't believe in living a healthy lifestyle. They are lying to sell their product. And it is not okay. They have to be stopped. And I, for one, am fighting back.
That video has 600,000 views already. And I want a lot more people to see it, to send it to your friends so they know they're being duped.
Yeah.
It's palpable how angry you are. You're turning red.
Yeah, no, it makes me so angry because I work so hard. I mean, first of all, it's not true. And secondly, I work so hard to be someone that people can trust. And to feel like they took advantage of that really upsets me.
Well, actually, I mean, don't you think that's why they came after you? Because you are trustworthy?
Oh, yes. Of course. I guess if you're someone who says something, you know, fiery all the time and untruthful a lot, maybe then they don't use that person.
I see that with all these celebs. They pick folks who generally are completely trusted by everybody.
Yeah.
And they are knowledgeable about that. So this is not an accident, folks. So I've talked to countless other outraged celebrities, Barbara Streisand, Goldie Hawn. Their likeness and their images have been used to endorse products they have nothing to do with. And now we've got a big issue because everyone is falling prey to this problem. Right. So I don't know if you've had any success in your path. Do you feel like you're making a dent in this?
So I feel like the success I'm having is reaching out to my fans, and I've had to do that legwork, like getting out there and talking to you and doing that thing on my Facebook page and making sure people know. The problem I'm having, you know, I have this great legal team who's helping me try to stop them in their tracks, but it's like, you know, catching smoke. You know, they disappear and they move on. So we're having, you know, I'm getting the things taken off the pages, but then a new one pops up. So I'm having trouble.
So just to be clear, I know people go after these weight loss scams in particular because they're so desperate to lose weight. What actually works? I mean, you host The Biggest Loser. What does work to lose weight?
Right. I mean, the bottom line is, and the thing we learned at The Biggest Loser is it's changing your lifestyle. It's eating right. It's working out, getting enough sleep at night. It's taking care of yourself, you know? And I think oftentimes things that seem like a magic pill are not going to be real, you know, or realistic for the long term. You need to look at things that are going to change the rest of your life. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So if you could just give people a bit of advice about what you want them to learn from this experience.
Well, I guess for me, what I hope they learn is if it makes them feel if they're seeing something on the internet, and by the way, not just about me or you or anyone, if you're reading something on the internet that seems like, gosh, that doesn't seem quite right, probably isn't, and it requires further investigation. Like, don't just believe everything you read. And my child's pediatrician told me that when he was very young. It was the best piece of advice I ever got because, you know, of course, you have a brand new baby, and you Google everything, right? You're like, oh no, he coughed twice in a row. What does that mean?
Right.
And
whooping cough.
Right. And my pediatrician said any idiot with $100 can start a website. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And so, yes.
Well, I wish these guys were idiots in the foolish way you think about it, but they're not. They're incredibly clever, incredibly savvy. When we come back, Alison and I are teaming up to protect you, the consumer. Plus, I've got the red flags you need to look out for to make sure you are not being duped.
Yeah.
Stay here.
Coming up next, how do we put an end to these false celebrity endorsements? We bring in an internet security expert to show you how to keep from getting ripped off.
It's kind of the perfect storm out there right now.
The 3 warning signs everyone can look for to protect themselves. Coming up next.
The truth about vegetable oil. For years, we've been taught saturated fat is bad for your heart, and fats from vegetable oils are good for your heart. New research suggests otherwise. We investigate all new odds.
That's coming up tomorrow.
We are back with Alison Sweeney as she continues her fight against online diet pill scammers. Now, you were specifically targeted by these weight loss scammers on social media. So has it changed how you use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other platforms?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't want them to win, right? So I'm going to continue to be active on my social media and use it how I want and connect with my fans. And actually, I feel like for as much as that did impact me, sort of the opposite was true too. I really came away with a feeling like, wow, my fans really know me. Like the people who know me, they knew enough to check with me and to make sure that wasn't me. And that made me feel really good about the way I've connected with them. So
the folks on the edge, they're the ones that sometimes slip and fall.
That's
so
right.
In Alison's case, these fake Twitter and Facebook ads were created to target her fans. And I know you're always out there talking to folks. I suspect, and I live this in my own life, that people are probably coming up to you every single day.
Every day.
Can you, what's the dose of the pill I should take?
Yeah.
I bought them, it hasn't worked for me.
Right. Or I never got anything. I sent money and I never got anything for it, and it just breaks my heart. I mean, everything I can do to sort of bring more awareness to the fact that that's not me, it's not true. And so, if you see this, like, know that they're not true. Tell your friends.
And what we're going to do to make sure everybody understands this is to work together with a lot of other celebs. We all have a mission to protect you. So take a look at what we have created. You wouldn't do this with your cash, would you?
What about this?
How about this?
This?
Well then, what about this?
If you see any products online that are using our images to sell them, know that our names have been stolen by scammers to sell faulty products.
And while we care about our names, we care a lot more about you and your money.
So buyer beware. If you think that there's a product out there that we wouldn't endorse, double check your facts.
Don't trash your cash.
And don't buy the lies.
Don't buy the lies.
Don't buy the lies. I love making that video, Alison. So I hope you find the humor enjoyable, but this is a serious issue and there are red flags you can look for to protect yourself. So I brought in internet security expert Christine Durst to show us how to do that. And to be clear, innocent people are being targeted. Christine, I feel they're being duped more and more. Why is this happening?
It's kind of the perfect storm out there right now, Dr. Oz, and it just means that a lot of forces are coming together to make it easier for them. First of all, pictures on the internet, when you put a photo on the internet, there's really nobody monitoring it. As a matter of fact, did you know when you sign up for Facebook or Instagram, you're giving them ownership of the images that you post?
Yeah.
I'm sure most of the people in this audience belong to those and don't know that they're giving up ownership of their images. So anybody can click on an image, save it, and put it up on a website of their own. The second factor is the internet is becoming more and more sophisticated. And along with that, it's so easy. Somebody in 5 minutes now, I heard you say that somebody with, any idiot with $100 could put up a website. Now, you don't even need $100. You just get a website for free. You grab images of Dr. Oz, of yourself, of other celebrities, and you put up a website literally in 5 minutes that looks professional, and that's something brand new.
If I walked in Alison's house and stole something from her, I'd go to jail. It's illegal.
Of course you
Why
would.
are these activities not illegal?
You know, because it's not policed. The policing is just not there. The internet is like the Wild West. People do what they want to do, and the authorities are busy dealing with what they consider to be the big deal.
Wait, can I interrupt
Of course.
just and ask a clarification? So it is illegal. They're just not policing
That's
it?
correct.
Okay.
It is illegal. It's illegal in the aspect that using somebody's image without their consent is copyright infringement. There are laws that protect you from that, but there's nobody enforcing
Right.
those laws. So it becomes incumbent upon people like you to watch your own backs, and people like you to watch your own backs. That's the thing. Each one of you out there has to be your own policeman. So you have to become your own first line
So
of defense.
show folks, our viewers, how to do that. We've got some red flags, so come on up.
Absolutely.
We built this up a little bit. We made a fake ad, and I'm hoping this will help identify what these red flags. The first one is you got to look out for words at the very top. So you see it way up there? Let's focus in on that. It says, as featured on.
Right. There's a very good chance when you land on a site that says as featured on, and by the way, almost always in the same location because it's where the eye is drawn to, and these guys are smart. They're not legitimate, but they're smart. They know psychology. So they're going to have all of these logos here because it draws you in and it's trying to earn your trust. Oh, if it's been here, then I can have the confidence in them. I believe it.
Did you notice this red flag?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't notice it. I didn't pay attention. I just knew it wasn't true. But it's crazy that you can just pull up, CNN's
Absolutely.
logo. I mean, of course it's trustworthy.
Absolutely. Right. And you mentioned something too. Yours was made to look like it was a legitimate media source.
Yeah.
And we see that all the time. That's the other thing. If you pull it up and it doesn't have those logos, but it looks like it's from a magazine or a television show, watch out for that as well.
So besides being endorsed theoretically by these big news agencies, a lot of times you look for the testimonials, which is the second red flag.
Absolutely.
We got to read the dates, the specifics around the testimonials. I didn't even think about this, but explain this to everybody.
Testimonials, by the way, on these sites, I call them testifonials because they're fabricated.
Yeah.
If you look at this, you can see the dates are chronological, but in a very short time frame. That's because these scammers, these con men, build these websites. They write their own testimonials with names that they think are going to be believable. But the thing is, when they're putting it up, they have to post it within a very finite amount of time so that they can get the site up quickly. So you see dates of April 11th, April 12th. Very rarely will they have been posted in more than a 3 or 4 day period. So watch your backs. Read the testimonials, but don't believe them. Keep this in mind, testifonials, okay? Because they're just not real.
I mean, there's So Sexy Mama, Sheila, Anonymous, and John A. all posted the exact same day, which is highly improbable. All right, the third red flag is a disclaimer. And this is the part that really threw me off.
This is
Rush by
terrible.
order, terms of service. What happens when you click there? What do we look for?
Well, what happens is, first of all, when you come to these sites, you're not going to see terms of service anywhere that that are going to be noticeable. You're going to be looking at that big rush my order first, and in little tiny letters underneath it, something that says terms of service. When you click on that, you're going to come to a page that, first of all, is written in very small text, so it's almost illegible. Oftentimes, it's written in a font color that blends in with the background, and that is where they put all of the things that is the gotcha language. That is, they're going to mention that you're probably going to be in an auto-ship program, meaning that they're going to start sending this garbage to you every 4 weeks and hitting your credit card unless you opt out. I don't know if they were doing that with yours. I think they were.
Yeah.
Which means that suddenly you're getting this junk again and again, and you're getting billed for it. It makes it just about impossible to back out, so the terms of cancellation are just about non-existent. And anytime that they're putting in there, it's their legal CYA, and it should piss you off that they think that you're that dumb.
Yeah.
You are not.
Well, what infuriates me is they're actually doing things. You pointed out your CYAs, exactly what they make it just illegal enough to not get the police involved.
That's exactly right.
That's what they're really doing. It's still unethical. They're still taking your money, but they're putting all this BS in there to allow them to hide behind. So when you do come after them, and I've lived this, and you're going to live this because you're just starting now, but Oprah and I have been going after these guys for 10 years. And when you actually get them into court, they say, well, we actually told them that we're doing this. Of course, it's all done purposely to fool you and trick you, which is what irritates me the most.
Yeah. They're tenacious. You've doorstepped these guys. You've shown up with cameras in their faces saying, I got you, and they still do it. And as you said, they just keep coming up and up again. And that's why you are the first line of defense. Protect yourselves, because nobody else is doing it.
So we reached out to the Federal Trade Commission to find out what's being done to police the web for these false endorsements. Here's what they said in part. The commission considers the false use of celebrity names and endorsements in advertising to be primarily the concern of the celebrity. Basically, they don't care. It's not their problem. So we have actually created a system in America where internet scammers can legally steal from you, and they seem to be able to get away with it. So bottom line, you got to be your own police. Don't fall for these scams. We'll be right back.
Next, we shift gears with a new social media trend. Online group coupons for cosmetic procedures. Are these for real, and are they safe? We cut through the internet clutter to find out if they're worth your money and your health. The 3 important steps you need to take before buying a social coupon. Next.
One of my new medical investigative reporters, Dr. Sapna Parikh, brought this social media trend to my attention. Online group coupons for cosmetic procedures. Now, the web is teeming with them, and I wanted to cut through the clutter and let you know if they are safe and worth your health and your money. So I sent Dr. Sapna to find out.
Beauty is big business, particularly when it comes to cosmetic procedures, with Americans spending more than $12 billion on cosmetic surgery in 2014 alone. And with this much money at stake, everyone seems to be getting in on the act. Not just doctors, but medical spas, salons, and now the web. A quick search online trolling social media websites, you'll find coupons offering deep discounts on everything, from liposuction to laser hair removal, Botox to butt lifts, teeth bleaching to total body makeovers. When you dig a little deeper, I was looking online at this deal. It says teeth whitening and dental package or Botox. Is the dentist doing the Botox? Are the discounts always what they seem? $125 worth of non-surgical facelifts? Are they safe? Who does the treatments? And are they worth it?
Dr. Sapna Parikh is here. Now, just this month alone, we've found over 2,000 coupons for cosmetic procedures on social media websites, and that's just the New York City area. So my first concern, Sapna, is safety. What do you think about these coupons?
I think you have to be really skeptical and ask a lot of questions, which is annoying, but it's so important. In terms of safety, there are reports of people getting burns, for example, when these lasers are in the wrong hands. And the biggest complaint people have is really the bait and switch. You go in there for a dental cleaning, for example, and they try to tell you need your teeth whitened.
Right.
That's happened to me, but you really just need to be really skeptical.
So Sapna says there are 3 important steps you need to take before buying a social coupon. Please write these down. The first is you have to investigate, but you got to do it the right way. So how do you hunt for clues that this might not be right for you or that it's a good idea?
I think you want to look for 2 things, for credentials and for reviews.
All right, so this brings me to the second issue, which is getting a consultation. I must say, I think a consultation is the most important thing we do for a patient.
Right, so don't even buy the deal without confirming that you can get a consultation.
And the last is this price issue. You're getting the coupon because of price, but how do you know if it's really a good deal or if it's an overpromise?
You have to compare a couple things. I think it's worth actually making sure you're getting a deal, calling other places and asking how much does that same laser treatment cost. You want to look for hidden costs.
So let me be your field guide on this one and help you out. The question is, are group internet coupons for cosmetic procedures worth it? My feeling is I don't want you to make cost a primary factor in choosing your cosmetic procedures. And do not be afraid to ask your own doctor what they think. Do not be embarrassed about this. Go to your internist and say, I want to have these veins taken care of. What do you think about this idea? They'll have an opinion. Dr. Semple, thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Next, why does the price of beauty need to be so high? Do the math and you may be surprised at how much you spend a year on cosmetics.
It's surprising, isn't it, how much you actually spend?
It is.
The truth about which products are really worth your time and money, where to splurge and where to save. Coming up next.
The truth about vegetable oil. For years we've been taught saturated fat is bad for your heart, and fats from vegetable oils are good for your heart. New research suggests otherwise. We investigate all new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow.
The high cost of beauty sure starts young these days. I want to take a look at my beautiful granddaughter, Philo. Now, by the way, all granddaughters are beautiful, and they all do these kinds of things, so we're not alone, but you will enjoy this. She loves to play with her mommy's makeup.
Good, remember, dip, 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 and then on the cheek.
Oh.
Dip, 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 and then, yes,
Oh.
that's right.
Yes, very beautiful.
I want my lips. More on your lips.
More on your lips? She wants more on her lips? Of course she does. Because she's learning all of these things already.
So pretty.
She actually played dress up with me. And here's a picture of her putting makeup on Grandpa, which I said, notice how red my chin is. I had mascara on all day long. But it did get me thinking, does the price of beauty need to be so high? So today, the truth about what beauty products are really worth, and frankly, are they even worth your money at all? So we asked one woman to tally up her annual beauty costs and reveal the results. And Ashley's here with the tally. Are you ready?
I think so.
right.
I think so.
Now, I want you, if you don't mind, to estimate for us, and go through these different categories, how much that you think you're spending on these different products.
So foundation, which unfortunately I need, I think it's about $320 a year.
Yeah, it's a lot. And mascara?
Mascara, because I have very blonde eyelashes, so if we think about $20 per tube 6 times a year, about $120 bucks.
Yep. And how about face moisturizer?
About $825.
And how about shampoo and conditioner for your hair?
I have super high maintenance hair, so it's about $1,200 a year.
So added it all up, right? And if you do that, it's a dramatic amount of money. It's $2,465.
And I'm hoping my husband isn't watching this.
Yes.
I'm not going to be very
He may
happy.
catch this, but most husbands, it's surprising, isn't it, how much you actually spend?
It is a lot. Like I said, when you're just buying it, incrementally, it still even seems a lot at that time. But when you think about the complete aggregate, it's a little surprising.
Can you all relate to Ashley? Yeah. Right? We want to look good, but it costs a lot. Stick around. Today we are bringing down that cost, bringing it way down. I'm here to guide you on where to splurge and where to save. Is the editor-in-chief of The Good Life magazine and my good friend Jill Herzig. Why are Ashley, so many viewers at home, and me so confused about these different products and how much you spend on them?
I'm going to give you 3 words. So many choices. Too many, I would say. It's the tyranny of choice. The products are filling the shelves. There are all these pretty boxes making all these wonderful promises. And the result is that we're all a little confused.
So The Good Life magazine did a pretty cool survey. And it has an article that you've written that sort of summarizes this experience. We look at which products people spend the most on each year. And here are the results. Drum roll, shampoo and conditioner, hair dye, face wash, retinol creams, and foundation in that order. Is this surprising to you?
Well, it's a little surprising because I know you have some smart cookie fans out there, and there are places where they could be saving money and look just as fantastic.
So that's the key issue here. We're going to go through a list, which products are really worth your investment and which ones are not. This is the truth about your makeup. Come on over. The first has to do with hair care products. So let's start with shampoos and conditioners. Do we splurge here or do we spend or save?
All right, you reveal it.
It is?
It is a save. You can save money, and I know Ashley's spending an awful lot of money, but the drugstore brands have come a long way. Their formulations are really, really good. Even the very low end of the market, they have some wonderful moisturizing and thickening ingredients. All you want to do is just find one that's designed for your hair type. And if your hair type is very dry, or it's color treated, or it's damaged, look for sulfate free, because that means there's no harsh detergents in there, it won't strip your hair.
And what about when it comes to the hair dyes, which I think a lot of folks always have to think about whether it's worth the expense or not?
Okay, I'm gonna say this one is worth the splurge, especially if you want a dramatic change. You wanna be a whole lot blonder, or you want some dramatic highlights. That's when you go to a salon, you put it in the hands of a pro, because these are harsh chemicals and bleaches that they're using. You can wreck your hair if it's inexperienced hands, like for example, my hands would be very inexperienced hands. I would never do it. If all you're trying to do is cover some grays or go a little bit lighter or a little bit darker, the box at the drugstore will do you fine.
You may end up at the salon no matter what you do. Okay,
Yeah.
so splurge there. Let's talk about skincare products, and we'll start with facial wash. Now I know from my wife and my 3 daughters, this is a place where people, my family anyway, spends a fair amount of money. Splurge or save?
All right, I don't wanna out Lisa or any of your girls, but this is a place where I would save. Reason being, there are wonderful ingredients possibly in those high-end face washes, but it's only on your face for a few seconds while you're doing this, and then the rest of it just goes right down the drain. All you really need for your face wash to do is gently remove dirt, grime, oil, makeup, and most of the drugstore products can do that for you.
And what about retinol creams? So
Okay.
important for so many reasons.
Yeah, I'm gonna say splurge on these. Retinol is an ingredient that is really the gold standard in anti-aging. And any product that contains retinol will get you results, but the higher end ones, you've got more retinol, more of that active ingredient in there, and you'll get your results faster. Who doesn't want it faster?
Well, you get what you pay for no matter what. It's the most important ingredient we use for getting skin to turn themselves over fast, which is what gives you that nice glow that you want. And if you're gonna spend money at all, spend it on the right stuff.
Yes.
All right, last thing has to do with foundations.
Foundation. I'm gonna say splurge on foundation, and the reason is that you can find a $2 foundation in the drugstore, no question. You can get that, or your teenager can get that. But I would recommend spending a few dollars more. You're gonna get real quality skincare ingredients by spending that little bit of extra, and some anti-aging ingredients. Foundation sits on your skin for a long time, and it can actually do some beneficial things while it's covering what you don't wanna show. The other reason is if you have a skin color that is a little bit harder to match, then maybe you wanna head to the department store. They've got shades, 40 of them, and an expert there to match it. It's your gorgeous skin. You want an exact match.
Thank you for saving us so much money. Jill Herzig. Listen, the beauty news guy is going to be on DrOz.com. Looks like this. Thank Jill for being here. Up next, my wife Lisa's here with how to add a delicious kick to your diet food. Stay around.
Next, we're taking a turn to diet food. It has a reputation for being tasteless and boring. That changes today. My wife Lisa heads to one of the biggest weight loss institutions to find out how they make diet food taste so amazing. The secrets to losing weight deliciously. That's next.
Diet food, all right, let's be honest, it has a long-standing reputation as being tasteless and boring. In fact, we asked you if it was boring, and guess what? 80% of you said yes. But I want to change that impression. So the Good Life magazine went to one of the biggest weight loss institutions in the country to find out how they make diet food taste delicious. And here to show you how they do it and what we learned is editor-at-large of the Good Life magazine, my beautiful wife, Lisa Oz. Thank you, Will. So, at our home, Lisa's like a short order cook, which I know is common for many of you as well. But you actually are passionate about the fact that we eat all the food, that we enjoy it, that we're actually dissatisfied is the word you use.
Well, if you didn't, if it weren't delicious, you wouldn't eat it and you wouldn't be satisfied. Knowing our family, they're all foodies, by the way. So it's very important to make healthful food delicious, or it's going to sit on the table.
You're saying I'm picky?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Now, 80% of folks say it's boring. We just saw another survey, and we've done other surveys in the past. Why did the magazine decide to focus on this issue and the concept of making sure it wasn't?
Well, that was the whole idea. So at the magazine, we love to give people great information so that they can live more healthfully. But if they're not going to eat it, it's not going to do any good. So we went to chefs and we found out the best tasting food that would help you stick to your diet, so you're not going to want to cheat because you're going to love what you're eating.
So to do that, the Good Life partnered with Hilton Head Health in South Carolina. We wanted to find the best ways to make diet food delicious. So again, it's got to be good for you and maybe help you lose weight, but most importantly, it's got to really taste good. Why'd you pick these guys at Hilton Head?
Well, they've been doing it for 40 years. They've helped thousands of people, and they let us into their kitchens to see what they did so we could share it with our readers. So you could do it at home. You didn't need to go to Hilton Head. Great if you did, but you could also do it at home. So you could take those great recipes and eat them yourself.
We actually kidnapped the chefs. One of them
did.
lives with us now. No. One of them's gonna be on the set though. Let's get to the secrets to make losing weight delicious. The first is to bake your breakfast. And this is interesting because you can bake in many ways. Most of those are not healthy, but you actually say we can bake without destroying a diet and still make it delicious.
Well, the idea of baking for breakfast is a couple things. One, it's fun, right? The idea of baked goods feels like dessert in the morning, so fun is not boring, and we're trying to get away from boring here. So A, it's fun, but the thing about baking is you're looking for sweet flavors because people want that serotonin hit in the morning with sugar, but you want to layer flavor so your sweet is not the only one. So you can have spices, you can have fruits, you can have nuts, put a lot of other things into your baking other than sugar, and you won't have like a carb coma by 10 o'clock.
So I get to eat these all the time. So you think we should share them with the audience?
Oh, please.
Here, you take those over.
Okay.
I'll get these.
Yay.
I want honest feedback here, just because she's my wife. I don't want all this fancy politeness. So what's in these muffins in particular?
Well, these are banana date walnuts. I remember I talked about layering the flavors.
Thank you so much.
Don't drop them. Don't drop them.
You know, I knew he was going to do that. Here, I had a feeling. You guys share it. I had a feeling he was going to do that.
Coordinated, yes. All right, so you got dates in there.
Dates are our favorite ingredient because they add sweetness without extra sugar. You can buy them pitted, you cut them up, and they also add texture. So it's a little bit chewy, and they're very moist. So they keep it moist, chewy, sweet. The best ingredient.
And before you give me your vote here, there's 10 grams less of sugar than regular muffins in these things, and there's a ton of fiber, so you won't overeat because you're going to be full. But again, this is just a segment about why they're so delicious. So what do you guys think? Yes? Look in their eyes, folks. Look in their eyes. You see these are nice dilated pupils from people who are happy and want more. All right. Here, he can have the walnuts.
But again, if you don't like dates, you can add any fruit you want. You can use apricots, figs, dried blueberries. You can use whatever you like.
All right, let's turn to salad dressing for a second.
Aha.
You're going to raise the bar on salads. Get the pun? No, they're not even humoring me today. We're going to raise the salad bar. I'll say it again. I work on these lines. I'll be here all week, by the way. How many of you love creamy, gooey, thick dressing on your salad just to give it that flavor you want? Right. So how do we get that goal of making it delicious in all the ways that they like without adding lots of calories?
Well, if you're eating just iceberg lettuce, you're going to need a creamy, gooey, lots of salt, sugar dressing to make it taste good. But what I like to do, and what we recommend at the Good Life magazine, is to add ingredients that have flavors themselves and layer those. So herbs, here we have chives, cucumbers, different vegetables, different seasonings. You can use seeds, you can use nuts. So put in the salad things that having a delicious taste themselves, so you don't need to layer on the dressing.
So give us one of your favorite combos.
Well, I just mentioned this one, but this is one of my very favorites. It's cantaloupe, which is sweet and crunchy, and cucumbers, and chives. So it has that bright, clean flavor. You barely need dressing at all on this. A little salt, a little olive oil, a little lemon, and you're all set.
For a regular salad, is that the only dressing you think we should be using? A little, but you mentioned olive oil and basically a little bit of lemon?
Lemon or vinegar. If the ingredients are delicious, you don't need very much else.
I would throw these up to the audience, but I'd be getting dry cleaning bills. The next way to make diet food taste delicious is to up your grill game, and here to help us do that is the executive chef at Hilton Head Health, Carla Williams. So I actually thought about kidnapping you.
Oh!
Yes, some of the food you make is so good.
Or you could just take me to Hilton Head.
Yes, we could also just go to Hilton. We'll get to that in a second. So how does grilling add flavor without calories?
At Hilton Head Health, we love to grill food because you don't have to actually start with a lot of oil. So you'll still get the great flavor. It'll caramelize that food, which just brings out such a natural, sweet flavor in anything.
So you got some surprising foods that I wouldn't expect. Is that a pizza?
It's pizza. So
Are you
at Hilton Head
serious?
Health, yes. All you have to do to translate this at home is buy a whole wheat pizza dough at your grocery store for maybe $2 or so, roll it out nice and thin, and then grill it 2 or 3 minutes each side. Put your favorite marinara or a pesto sauce on it and load it up with those vegetables and finish it in the oven. Easy peasy. Tasty, right?
Really tasty.
Can I have
Yeah,
some?
oh, please, yeah. I thought you ate all these foods already. And what about the fruit? You say that, I know grilling fruit is not something most of us think about, but it's maybe the new secret this summer.
Yes, so all you have to do for a simple, indulgent treat is throw that sweet pineapple on the grill, and it caramelizes, and you can't beat that treat. And another one here that we have is we grilled mango, and we tossed it with some onions, some tomato, lime juice, and you can put that easily on a piece of grilled chicken or fish, and that will really sass up any meal.
Oh, it is superb. You guys all like these foods? All right. So we have all the recipes on DrOz.com, but up next, you can find out how you can win your own trip to Hilton Head Health. So stay here. I got her still on the stage. Next, don't give up your weight loss goals over tasteless meals. Lisa shows us how to make low-calorie foods taste decadent. Her favorite carb recipes for every day of the week to keep you full and satisfy your taste buds. Coming up next.
The truth about vegetable oil. For years, we've been taught saturated fat is bad for your heart, and fats from vegetable oils are good for your heart. New research suggests otherwise. We investigate all New Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow.
We're back with the editor-at-large of the Good Life magazine, and she happens to be my wife, Lisa Oz, and she's here showing us how to make low-cal foods taste decadent. Now, our secret to doing this is to play pick-a-carb. What does pick-a-carb mean?
Pick-a-carb is just a way of making it fun, and we're going against boring, right? The whole idea we talked about before was you don't stick to a diet if it's boring. One of the most boring things you can do is eat the same grain every day. So here is a new game we play called Pick-a-Carb. You don't have to have brown rice with every meal. The game is once a week, choose your grain. It can be quinoa, farro, millet. Look at all of these beautiful grains we have. Make it at the beginning of the week. You can keep it in the refrigerator for the entire week. Then at night, you can switch up your protein and your vegetables. It's so delicious, so wonderful, so fun, not the same old boring thing every night.
It's like carb of fortune.
It is, whoa.
You spin it.
Yes.
You're a camus, buckwheat, everyone heard of Bulgur wheat. The biggest surprise for me, if you're gonna start with one, is millet. It tastes so buttery, so good. Maybe it's because of the butter you add to it, but it tastes buttery naturally, I think. All right, so walk us through some of your favorite carbs, and this is the deal, no brown rice allowed. So we gotta be different today.
We love brown rice, but you do wanna switch it up. So these are our favorites. These are the ones we eat all the time at home. This is actually farro, one of my favorites because it's made with thyme and mushrooms, and you're a mushroom boy. But again, you throw in some great herbs, and it's full of flavor, and you've got the chewiness of the farro. Absolutely delicious. This is one of my favorites. It's quinoa with Indian spices and mung beans. So tasty, and a little cilantro on the top, right? Full of rich flavor, very tasty. And this is the millet you referred to.
That's my favorite.
And this is a deconstructed pesto. It's all the ingredients you have in pesto: pine nuts, basil, garlic, little Parmesan, but you take it apart and you can really taste the millet through the topping.
Is this 24 hours of hard work to make these?
Don't you help me at home in the kitchen?
I'm usually, I come to taste the food at the
He's
very
an
end.
eater, he's not a cook, but yes. No, it does not take a long time. Again, especially, well, this is a quick grain, so you don't even need to do it ahead of time. And as is quinoa. With the farro or with brown rice or some of the other grains, cook them in the beginning of the week. Put them in a big bag, make a big batch, put it in the refrigerator. You can just add the flavorings in the middle of the week and put in your protein. You've got a meal right away.
So we've got all these wonderful tips on how to satisfy your taste buds while trimming your waistline. It's in this month's issue of the Good Life magazine. And here's the big deal. You can head to DrOz.com to enter the Good Life's Hilton Head Health Sweepstakes. From now until June 27th, there's a chance that you're going to get a week-long getaway for you and a guest at Hilton Head Health. Take advantage of it. Enter to win. Everyone in my audience, by the way, is going home with a copy of the Good Life magazine. Thank you, my beautiful Lisa. We'll be right back. Nice you back.
The kissing bug.
The fact that it drinks blood out of your lips isn't the gross part. It actually poops on your face.
Parasites that hijack your body.
How do you actually find that if you have one?
That's coming up Thursday on Dr. Oz.
I adore Alison Sweeney, and I love that she's here today, so I asked her to stick around for an extra 30, and she's going to share with you the 3 essentials that you'll always find in her purse. You got 30 seconds. So what do you carry in your purse that you love the most as a snack?
Okay, so my snack is my own trail mix that I make myself because it's got almonds, dry, unsalted almonds, dried blueberries, and some sunflower seeds. I don't love the salt, so it's just all...
So it's all raw?
Yeah.
You don't cook it? It's not roasted?
Well, I roasted the almonds.
You did?
Yeah.
You ever eat them raw?
I do. I like them raw. Or am I supposed to have sprouted? Wait, this is cutting into my 30 seconds?
No,
I heard that sprouted...
No, you get 15 extra seconds. You're supposed to soak your nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get them to sprout? Is that...
Please.
It's a family show.
It's a family because you want them to sprout, because they germinate. Like the seeds in the soil would give rise to trees, right? So you want that same thing to happen. That's what I do with mine. That's why I don't roast mine.
Yeah.
But if you like them better roasted, I'm okay. It's not that big a deal. All right.
Okay, great. Okay, then also I keep moisturizer, and mine also has a little bit of tint in it, but it is more importantly sunscreen. I live in Los Angeles, but it is true everywhere. Sunscreen is the most important thing you can do to protect your face.
Why
and your
tinted?
skin. Oh, just to look pretty.
Just look pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
and then,
even out the skin tone for us
and I'll
ladies.
give you an extra credit, 30 seconds on this one, because I didn't realize that we had a fiction writer next to me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She wrote a book on the daylight of a makeup artist. So what's the one piece of advice that you learned writing that book about makeup artists? What should they never leave the house without?
Okay, so in Opportunity Knocks, my makeup artist, Alex, is definitely someone who believes in just giving a little polish to your look when you go out. So she never leaves the house without lip gloss. 2 different colors, actually. Sometimes it's fun to mix it up. But, you want to look finished. And I think that, really, if you don't put anything else on, a little lip gloss puts a good foot forward.
You always look wonderful to me. Alison Sweeney, thank you for being here. Listen, you can find her new book, Opportunity Knocks. It is out now. Check it out. And she's a beautiful writer, as well as a human being. Remember, happy and healthy starts at home. I'll see you next time.